The trouble began on a warm Saturday morning when Daniel noticed heavy construction equipment blocking the only dirt road leading to his ranch. A large, freshly painted HOA sign stood tall, "Private Road. No access without HOA approval." His stomach sank. That road wasn't just a shortcut, it was the only passage connecting his ranch to the town. Without it, he couldn't drive his truck, deliver supplies, or even reach the hospital in an emergency. At first, Daniel thought it was a mistake. Surely, no one would block a resident's only lifeline. But when he approached the crew, a sharp voice pierced the air. Karen, the self-proclaimed queen of the HOA, stood with folded arms, smirking. "This is HOA property now," she declared. "If you want access, you'll pay annual fees like everyone else." Daniel tried to reason, but Karen dismissed him with a wave. She claimed the HOA had voted to privatize the road, even though his land deed clearly showed it was an easement. That evening, Daniel sat by his porch, staring at the blocked road. Anger turned into determination. He knew there had to be a way out of this trap. Little did Karen know, Daniel had a plan brewing, one that would uncover more than just access to a road. Daniel spent the next week studying old maps of his ranch. Among the faded documents, he discovered something fascinating: an unused storm drainage system built decades earlier, running beneath the road and toward town. It wasn't wide enough for a truck, but it was perfect for creating a tunnel. Every night after sunset, while the neighborhood slept, Daniel worked in silence. He cleared debris, widened the passage, and reinforced walls with wood planks. Sweat dripped down his face, but the thought of outsmarting the HOA fueled him. "If they block the road above," he whispered, "I'll make my own road below." Meanwhile, Karen bragged at HOA meetings about teaching Daniel a lesson. She told neighbors he was stubborn and needed to fall in line. She even hired security guards to patrol the blocked road. Yet Daniel kept working, undetected, digging deeper into the earth. By the second week, his tunnel connected perfectly to the ranch side. On the third, he tested it, walking from his land straight to town in under 15 minutes. Freedom rushed through him. But Daniel didn't just want access. He wanted to expose Karen's abuse of power. And the tunnel was only the first step. One morning, Karen caught Daniel walking toward town. She was furious. "How did you get past the guards?" she shouted. Daniel only smiled. "You'll find out soon enough." His calm tone unsettled her, but she brushed it off, assuming he'd bribed someone. Behind the scenes, Daniel began collecting evidence. He learned that the HOA had illegally used funds to privatize the road. Karen and a few board members had pushed through the decision without proper votes, pocketing money from residents. Even worse, she was charging neighbors extra maintenance fees that went straight into her personal account. Daniel realized he had more than just a personal victory on the line. If he could prove the corruption, he'd free not only himself but everyone in the community. He set up hidden cameras, recorded conversations, and documented every fraudulent expense. The tunnel became his secret passage, not only for himself, but for gathering proof unnoticed. Night after night, he carried files, meeting with a local attorney who was shocked by the evidence. Karen thought she had cornered Daniel. What she didn't know was that he was quietly digging her downfall. Karen's confidence grew bolder. She called a community meeting by the road, boasting about her victory against Daniel. "He has no choice but to comply," she told the crowd. Many residents felt uneasy but stayed silent, fearing fines or retaliation. Suddenly, Daniel appeared. "You're right," he said calmly. "I didn't use the road. But I didn't need to." He held up a folder thick with documents. "I've been keeping track of every misused dollar, every unauthorized decision." Karen laughed, dismissing him as a bitter rancher. But her smile faltered when Daniel began reading exact figures aloud: maintenance fees that never went to repairs, payments that matched deposits into Karen's personal bank. Gasps rippled through the crowd. "I also found out," Daniel continued, "that the HOA's move to block this road violated easement law. Which means not only did you break the law, you tried to profit from it." Karen turned red, stammering excuses. But Daniel wasn't finished. He revealed a USB drive full of footage from hidden cameras, Karen bragging about her scheme to board members. The crowd grew restless. For the first time, Karen wasn't in control. Word spread fast. Residents who had once feared Karen now whispered about her downfall. Some even approached Daniel privately, thanking him for his courage. They, too, had been victims of unfair fees and harassment but never dared to speak up. Karen, however, wasn't ready to surrender. She confronted Daniel at his ranch, furious. "You think a few papers and videos will save you?" she sneered. "The board listens to me, not you." Daniel met her glare with calm resolve. "That's why I didn't bring this to the board. I brought it to the county." Karen froze. For the first time, her arrogance cracked. The following week, county officials arrived with investigators. They toured the blocked road, reviewed the evidence, and interviewed neighbors. Karen tried desperately to deny everything, but the proof was overwhelming. Officials warned her that criminal charges could follow. The tunnel remained Daniel's secret. For now. But soon, it would become the perfect symbol of his resilience, a reminder that no amount of corruption could trap him. And just when Karen thought it couldn't get worse, the county made an announcement that left everyone stunned. At the next community gathering, county officials revealed their findings. The road belonged to the public easement, not the HOA. Blocking it was illegal. But that wasn't all. Because of Karen's mismanagement and fraudulent spending, the HOA now owed over $400,000 in penalties and reimbursements. Gasps filled the air. Residents turned toward Karen with anger and betrayal in their eyes. Then, Daniel stepped forward. "For weeks, I had no road, no freedom. But instead of giving up, I built my own way. I dug a tunnel, quietly, safely, and proved that when someone blocks you, there's always another way forward." Karen's jaw dropped. The tunnel story spread instantly, turning into a legend of resilience. Neighbors applauded Daniel for his creativity and courage. Karen was officially removed from the board. But her humiliation wasn't over yet. The county froze her accounts pending investigation. She had gone from the most powerful woman in the HOA to a disgraced figure who couldn't even control her own driveway. Still, one final twist was waiting. Weeks later, Daniel received a letter from the county. Not only was the road permanently restored as public access, but the HOA was placed under temporary oversight. As part of restitution, the county granted Daniel partial control over the HOA budget, ensuring fair spending and transparency moving forward. Karen's face paled when she realized what that meant. The very man she tried to trap was now in charge of the finances she once abused. Standing before the community, Daniel said, "This isn't just about me. It's about fairness. No one here should ever feel powerless again." Cheers erupted from the crowd. Karen slinked away, defeated, while Daniel looked toward his ranch. The tunnel entrance remained hidden under the trees. A quiet reminder of his struggle and triumph. He hadn't just regained his freedom, he had exposed corruption, protected his neighbors, and reshaped the community. And as the sun set over the once blocked road, Daniel smiled. He had won, not through anger, but through determination and truth. And that was the final twist in this unbelievable HOA story. If you love the drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment sharing your thoughts. It really helps this channel grow.